If you are in a state of mind to where you're in a constant fear of failure, I'm going to help you out today. Guys, it's your favorite businessman, CEO Rico. And of course, y'all already know we're on the Urban CEO Network where we get shit done. Guys, being in a state of mind where you're always thinking about failure will really F you over. And the reason why I say that is because when you are always in a state of mind to where you're constantly thinking about if you fail or failure, you're going to basically put yourself in a position to where you're never going to think creatively. You're always going to think, about the next dollar or the next opportunity, or basically in a nutshell, like survival mode, right? So not even the opportunity, but you're going to be in survival mode. And guys, that's one of those things where if you're living in survival mode, you can't be fruitful. So you can't really multiply. And just hear me out on what I'm saying, right? So a lot of people, especially like if you on this channel, you're one or two people for real. You're either already a business owner and you're looking to scale, or you're still the individual that's at that 9-to-5 that's looking to get out of the 9-to-5 and transition into the entrepreneurial life. And when you're in that when you're in that 9-to-5, state of mind, and you don't have the ability to think about being fruitful, you're not thinking about opportunities, you're always thinking about, survival. People who are in survival mode, and guys, understand, I know this from experience. When you're in survival mode, you don't look at, resources in a way to where it's like, I'm going to invest or I'm going to use this in order to get to the next level, because you're so used to holding on so tight, especially when it comes to money. But see, one thing people will tell you, especially like people who have made it somewhere, they'll tell you that money is not the end all be all. That's not what it is, because money is simply paper. And because money is simply paper, it's one of those things where it's like, why would you always just want to hold on to paper? Those dollars, the money, the paper, that's a bartering. That's a means to barter. It's an exchange. And one of the things when you start to change up your words and you get out of that survival mentality and you stop being scared of failure, you'll start to open up and you'll start to see on why you can't be tight with money. Now, understand this. I'm not saying it from a standpoint of, if you barely making it to be fruitful. No, because in that instance, you're literally in survival mode. Literally, like, it's extremely hard to get out of that state of mind when your literal life is in survival mode. So that's a whole different conversation. And for anybody that's literally living in that survival mode, I'm going to simply tell you this, a little bit of advice. Look at your expenses and see what's really taking away the funds, and are they a necessity? Because you really got to dwindle down everything to the bare necessities, to what you absolutely need, and that's where your money, can go. And then once you start to do that, you need to start seeing where you can start adding, more revenue sources into your, your income. That's why they say, always having multiple streams of income. That's legit. Whether it can be, you can use your credit. You can, use your credit to get assets to now start generating additional revenue. You can use your actual time. You can actually, figure out a trade or a skill to where it's actually paying you more, to now where you're starting to free up those resources for you. But when you start to transition out of that survival mode, first it has to start mentally. You literally have to get your mental mind state together, because if you don't have the mental capacity to really think outside of the survival mode, you'll never be able to get out of it, because your mental is still stuck there. And trust me, that can be extremely hard, getting yourself there, even though you're not literally living in real life there. But that's perfectly fine, because when you start to transition your mind, you start to see opportunities start to form literally in your face. And one thing that just throughout my life, where it was like I need to put myself in position to where when an opportunity presents itself, I can execute on it. There's been plenty of opportunities throughout my life that I wasn't able to execute on. And I really started to just look at things differently, because it was like that opportunity really could have changed my life if I was in position to actually, execute on it to make the change. But because, my mindset wasn't there. So because my mindset wasn't there, I wasn't living my life in that type of way. I wasn't positioning myself and setting myself up for when those type of opportunities presented itself and then the opportunity left. Guys, one thing you got to understand, opportunities don't wait for nobody. When the opportunity is there, you have to take it. So transitioning yourself out of that survival mind state and transitioning over to the basically being fruitful and multiplying in a sense. You got to multiply your money. Like, I'm not scared to go invest into myself. I'm not scared to invest $20,000 into, some education program or something like that I know that I can actually benefit from. And the reason I'm not scared, I mean, honestly, I've done it already. I've invested $23,000 into a real estate investor education. And this education literally was the start of really everything for me, to where it really started to take off. And that's where I learned about business credit. That's how I built $250,000 in business credit and stuff like that. Because for me, it wasn't about how much it cost. It was about, what can I gain from this? Now don't get me wrong. In some instances, yes, I'm not saying just go out there and just buy any old course. If it's a course on, I don't know, mindset, and it's not going to actually bring any type of significant value to you, but they want you to pay $10,000. No, like we have to be realistic here, and we got to look at, what are these things going to teach me, show me, and then are they applicable to where it's going to actually transition my life and transform my life into something? If it's something that you see will transform your life, by all means, you have to make it happen. You have to go do it. I understand sometimes, the finances might not be there, but just throughout my life in general, I kid you not, I invested so many times in things. It's like I planted a seed, and times where it's like I barely had it. And I kid you not, as time went on, those seeds started to grow. And those seeds, when they started to grow, it really changed everything for me, because it's one of those things where it's like, if you already struggling, you already trying to survive, guys, I'm gonna be completely 100. 9 times it's not gonna change. If you're not changing anything, it's not going to change. It's not gonna change at all. If you're not taking the time out to put in that extra work, because at the end of the day, you gotta remember, where we live, it's not like somebody's about to come hand it to you. No, you got to go out there. You got to go grab it. You got to go get it. You got to be a go-getter. You got to be a hustler out here. You can't just be the person that say, "Well, I just want to work this 9 to 5, and that's just it. I want to go home and I want to go chill on the couch." And man, that is not gonna get you to the next level. You really gotta sometimes you gotta like make significant sacrifices in order to get yourself to the next level. You gotta do it. Whether let's say if you wanted to build a YouTube channel, but you say, "Oh, I don't really have time to, build a YouTube." It's like, why the hell not? It's like there's a group of people out there that's waiting for a message that you may have. And because you're sitting here telling yourself, "Oh, I don't have the time for that," you basically doing a disservice to them. You have something in you that can solve their problem. And they will actually sit down and pay attention to you. And in return, because they're paying attention to you, guess what? You can eventually get to a point where YouTube is actually starting to pay you because they're paying attention to you. Or better yet, you may even have significant value that you can deliver to them to where they'll buy it from you. So that literally would transition everything from you being in a struggling situation and a survival mentality to where now you transition into a fruitful mentality, but you got to put in the work. I look at it as simply this. I'm gonna tell you just like this. In my mind, I am a multi-million-dollar man. I mean significant millions. That's who I am. I'm your favorite businessman, CEO Rico, a multi-million-dollar earner, to where you find value in everything that I talk about, everything that I put out, content-wise, everything like that. But here's the difference. I could be right here, right? And this is where I'm going. The only thing that's stopping me from getting right here is the fact that I'm not walking to it. So I tell my fiance, I tell anybody, I'm already this person here. I literally just have to walk to it. That's it. But this is who I am already. No, even from the time I was 15 years old, I tell anybody, I'm a boss already. I'm already CEO. This is who I am. I've been this person for years. It wasn't just an overnight thing. This is who I am. I already have it in my head. It's a mindset thing. And because it's a mindset thing, nobody can deter me from it. You're going to have people that say, oh, you not that, you not this and stuff like that. You're going to have people that's going to try to push you off your rock. But you can't let them push you off your rock, because it's like, who are they? Who are they to tell you that you're not of a great stature? Who are they? Are they somebody that's more superior than you? And you got to understand, superiority, it doesn't always fall on income. It doesn't. Because there's a lot of people out here that straight goofies and they got money, but they goofies. They don't have no type of respect. Like, you can't respect them because they're not respectable. You understand what I'm saying? So once you start to transition yourself out of that, and it'll really help you overcome the fear of failure, because failure is one of those things. You're going to fail in life, and it's perfectly fine. You're going to fail. The biggest difference between you being a failure and you being a winner is simply you getting your ass back up. Straight up. If you not getting back up after you fall, after you fail, that's when you become an actual loser. And that's when you actually become a failure, because you failed one time and you didn't get your ass back up. And if you not getting back up, that you suck at that point. I'm gonna be completely honest, you suck. And you should be a loser, and you should be a failure. Simply because, bro, why not get back up? Learn from those failures and take them as lessons. They lessons learned, and you move forward. Simple as that. Guys, I always want y'all to remember, y'all can always go out there and be great. Never be scared to take those chances. Never be scared to take calculated risk. And guys, honestly, majority of the times, you just simply need somebody to help you. That you need somebody to help coach you, mentor you. Because you think about it, you're trying to go through life by yourself. Other people have already figured things out, and they figured out the answers to your problems, to your solutions. It's just you too scared to simply go out and ask. So guys, don't be scared to ask. Ask those questions. The smartest people in the room are typically the ones who ask questions, and they really don't care what nobody think. I mean, because honestly, if you sitting there and you're the one asking all of the questions and getting all your questions answered, then technically you're basically, you're not failing. You're getting everything answered for your clarity and for your understanding. And that makes you better off when it comes to going out and finishing doing whatever you're doing, no matter what nobody think. So once again, like I said, the smartest people ask questions, even though in some cases they might not even know what is going on. You feel what I'm saying? So don't never like limit yourself. Don't never be scared of failure. Don't never be scared to, if you do fail, at least fail forward. At least take those lessons that you learned during those failing times and apply it to actual life, and get back up and get back out there and keep moving forward. Because that's how a lot of people learn. You either gonna learn through experience or from somebody else's experience. And it's basically meaning it's either their failures or your failures. But somebody's gonna fail. So don't never be scared of failure. So guys, if you like the content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Definitely drop a comment. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you feel about it. I want to know what are your thoughts on this topic, and if you can actually resonate with what I'm saying. So guys, I look forward to hearing from y'all, and I'll catch y'all later.